What up, y'all? It's your boy Seeds, aka Zadis Seeds, aka your daddy's worst nightmare. And welcome back to the channel. I know the first video was a bit of a weird one, as it was quite literally just a tutorial, which I was not planning on starting my channel with, but I just figured since I struggled with it, I figured other people possibly struggled with it too. So I just wanted to pay it forward, you know, start off the channel on the right note. Actually, really just giving forward to other people is kind of what this whole channel is kind of for me. That, and also just doing something that I really like without resistance. And that's kind of what I wanted to do with this. So it's really funny. I really was planning to start off the channel just playing games, like right out the gate. I was like, let's get some games, play some stuff, tell some stories. But the more I thought about it, the more I was just like, man, I should like really just use my, like, not just, but I should really use my channel to help uplift other people, other communities that are important to me. And so this idea came about. So this video is not going to be focused on one video. It's not going to be a reaction or anything, but I just wanted to talk about it in general for you, because that's literally what this whole video is. So if this is already boring for you, you might want to click off. One of the first things that got me into VR, the first thing that got me into VR was the art. It started from the practical side. The idea that I could create within 3D space just seemed really cool, because at the time I was struggling. I'm an artist myself, and I was struggling with drawing like certain things in perspective. So I understand how to draw in perspective for the most part, but I tend to avoid it because my stuff is just stiff and rigid and so I thought if I could actually create within a 3D space, then that would allow me to make things that felt more organic, even though they're structural, like architecture, building, stuff like that. And so I started out like a lot of people with Blender, grease pencil, and amazing tool. I can't wait until we get full functionality in VR. But after using that, I was just like, man, this is cool, but I wish I could just reach, like, I know where I want to draw, and I wish I could reach into the space and draw in that space. And it just isn't possible, or at least it wasn't at the time. There's some really cool mods coming out. Actually, I'll show on the screen right now. This one's called Freebird, made by, I think, one dev. Yeah, I'm in this Discord. You guys can all check it out. I'll put the link to the Discord down below if you guys want to join in and check it out. It's a Blender mod for drawing in VR. So, like I said, the art was what got me into VR. That was it. I was not planning on playing any games. I wasn't planning on doing any of that stuff. I just wanted to create worlds within VR. So I go looking and I find out that there's a bunch of different programs in there. And one of them I remembered was actually, I didn't know the name, but I knew that there was this amazing artist named Goro Fujita, who was like, he had a video online a few years back. If I can find it, I'll post it behind me. But it was basically an infinite canvas of the camera zooming in to this like 3D canvas. Like he's moving around, but everything looks like it was hand drawn. I'm like, what the hell is this? The first time I saw it, as the camera's zooming in, and you can just see like he's getting closer and closer, and every, like, there's a little cave or a little hole or a little planet or car, like, and he's zooming into these things, and there's more characters within each one of these shapes. And I'm like, what is this? I couldn't believe it. And I didn't know what was happening. I didn't really understand at the time when I first saw it, but I remembered it. So I'm just like, that was VR. I know it was VR. So I searched him up and I joined the virtual animation group before even actually getting my first headset, which was the Quest 2, which I think was a lot of people's first headsets when it was first announced. I actually pre-ordered it. The day I found out, I was like, you know what? Boom, I'm going for it. Pre-order it. This seems like it's going to do exactly what I want. And I tried my best to resist the temptation of like watching stuff, because you know what it is when you purchase something for yourself and it's on pre-order. Every day is the night before Christmas and you're struggling. You can't sleep properly. You can't, like, you're just thinking about this thing, so you're just like, no, I need to do other stuff. And sometimes too, this happens a lot with artists, is that we will feel in our heads like we can't do what we really want to do until this thing comes. That's a lie, y'all. Don't fall for that trap. That is not the case. You can still continue working every day until that thing comes. Okay, so don't stop working. Just stay on your grind, keep doing your thing. So anyways, beyond that, I was just so hyped waiting for this thing, just every single day. So I search up the virtual animation group. I join in and I'm just looking at all these things. I'm watching all these YouTube channels talking about like animations in VR, because I'm like, I wonder if people are making stuff as well in VR. Because again, I ordered this thing without even researching any of that stuff. I'm just like, oh, it probably does what I want, and just ordered it like a crazy person. So of course I start looking around on the internet trying to find out if there are any sort of, videos or reactions or just, stuff, what's happening with the virtual animation, like what's happening in VR with virtual animation. And I was also thinking maybe there's like virtual, like VR comics or something. Again, I had no idea what any of this stuff was about, what it was like, what it looked like, none of that stuff. I had never even experienced VR before outside of maybe the virtual gear back when I was a kid, and they had one in the, I think it was like the Jumbo Video that we had in my hometown, or in the town I grew up in, which was very old and very hard on the eyes. Remember that thing? It was red screen. You put your eyes in it and everything. Now thinking back, that was probably a lot of germs. I don't remember seeing anybody ever wipe that thing down. So that's a bit weird, but that was the earliest version. So anyways, so I'm searching around on YouTubes, and I find the channel Claire Abdullah. And hopefully I'm pronouncing her name right, but I found her channel, and she has a video called Let's Play VR, the Multiverse Bakery Oculus Quill. Right. And this is from 2 years ago. And I'm just like, all right, let's check it out. I don't want to watch too much because, oh, actually, no, I think it was after I watched this video that I realized maybe I should stop and just be ready for the VR experience, because like, I don't want to spoil everything. Okay. So I watched the video, and the whole time I'm just like, this is amazing. I can't believe that people are making stuff like this. And obviously, listening to Claire's like experience in it too, I'm like, I almost felt like there was something I was missing that she was experiencing within this experience that I just couldn't comprehend through a flat screen. And I was definitely right. After that, I actually searched for some more stuff. Remember, I was looking for both animation, and I was just like, maybe virtual comics or something would be a thing. So I'm searching around, and again, from the same virtual animation group and people, I found an animation called The Remedy from Daniel Martin Piexe. I hope I'm pronouncing your last name right. I'm so sorry I'm not. I watched the trailer, and I'm like, this looks ridiculous. I really, really, really want to see what this is about. And I'm going to play the trailer in the background here. I'm not going to play the whole video. I saw that, and I was just like, oh my God. Like, it felt so native. It looked so beautiful. It looked so perfect. I was like, how is this real? This is so good. At this point, I'm just like, okay, I gotta relax. Like, I can't be watching these animations all day and night and not getting anything done, because this is all I wanted to do, because I was just so hype about getting this damn thing. It's all I could think about was just like, I can't wait till my headset comes. I can't wait till my headset comes. Still on pre-order, by the way. But I'm like, bro, this season is going to be ridiculous. Again, no games, none of that stuff. I was like, I'm not trying to play no game in VR. I can't even beat a platformer. I just want to see these animations. This stuff looks good. So finally, my headset comes. I was not ready for what I was about to experience within VR. When I saw these animations for the first time, the first one I watched was the Multiverse Bakery by Studio Cyro. And actually I have permission from them to react to their videos on the channel. So I'm super hyped for that. So I hope you guys will be down to watch some of those with me as I get hype all over again, because I've seen them all currently. I think there might be one new one that I haven't seen, but for the most part, I'm pretty certain I've seen all of them. And every single time I watch them, I get hype. Every time I take someone into VR to watch with me, I get hype. If I could take you guys into VR and watch it with me, ooh. But that's what I'm going to try to do, but on flat screen, and it's not the same, but we'll do our best. But I went there and I watched the Multiverse Bakery for the first time on my own in my room with my new headset. Guys, I was not ready. I was truly not ready for what I was about to experience. I couldn't believe it. It was just amazing. Every single moment in that experience was amazing. And I can't describe it. I cannot actually describe it to you of how or why it was as good as it was. It's something that and this is kind of one of the issues and the problems with VR, is that the buy-in is high, and the shareability, you can't share it with people unless you bring a headset to them to let them experience it themselves. You can't just make a video on YouTube and have people and have everybody be like, oh, I totally understand what this is like, and then be able to jump in. Like with a flat screen game, you're watching it in its native format. In VR, you are truly immersed in 6 degrees of freedom. Everything is surrounding you. The way that we tell stories in there is different because it's around you. I guess the closest thing to it would be like, I guess when you go to those like themed parks. I say themed parks, and they're actually called theme parks. my bad. But when you go to those places that are curated to be an experience, right? Like when you go to like Disney, or when you go to Universal and you go to like the Harry Potter, right? The world of Harry Potter, and everything around you is Harry Potter themed. You feel like you walked into that world. That is kind of what it's like, except so much more, because they can play with what you see, the things you don't see, the sounds that you hear and where they're coming from. They can cut into different locations like a dream. And they can also impose things both on the place that you are around you and also on your eyes directly. And that's more of a VR chat type of thing in other games, not so much in the virtual animation community so much, because it's a little bit different. Some limitations there, which I'll talk about in another video. But there's so much you can do to a person and like really trip them out and take them away, and almost like your brain is struggling because you're like, I'm in this space, I know I'm in my room, but my mind is in a totally different place. And so it's almost like this experience of dreaming. And when you can go inside of the world of an animation and see it from inside the mind of the people who created it, you're basically standing in a person's creation. It's like, think about a beautiful architecture, or being inside a house from like a genius and seeing inside of almost like a piece of their mind. That's what we get to do within these experiences. And it's not always just architecture, right? We can create the nature that we want, as surreal or as realistic as we want it to be. We can create all these crazy experiences, and you guys can just go there, but with only some of your senses, which is a strange thing and can cause some sorts of issues. Sometimes, people that get motion sickness in VR, stuff like that. But we got workarounds. But anyway, back to it. I really, really, really want to showcase a lot of these animations and a lot of these creations from people and studios that are doing it big in VR, especially right now when there's not that big of a market, right? Like VR only makes up for a tiny percentage of games played and experiences had outside of other sorts of media, and in comparison to other sorts of media, from TikTok to Twitter to YouTube to everything in between, and even flat screen games. And right now we're really, really trying to get more people into it, but again, it's really hard. You can't just show them a demo on a regular screen. You've got to sit people down, place a clunky headset on their head, and be like, hey, experience this. And usually what happens is when they do experience it and they get that first taste of it outside, unless they get motion sickness, of course, they realize pretty quickly, like, wow, okay, this is different than what I thought. This is way different, because you think but then you realize that you didn't know, and you're like, oh my God, this is crazy. So I'm guessing a lot of people that are going to be on the channel are going to be people that already understand VR. You're already in VR. You're already making stuff, all that kind of stuff. Hello. What's up, y'all? I hope I'm glad you're here with me. I hope I can catch you in VR chat at some point. But for those of you who are here that have never experienced it, I hope you get a chance. If you have a friend that has a headset, tell them to put a disinfectant wipe down on that headset, the gasket on that thing, and put that shit on your head and go and check out an experience in VR. But if you can't do it right now, you can come with me, and I'm going to take you through some of the most amazing animations, whether they're just shorts or whether it's just a loop, a little animation loop, which I'll put a couple into a video, or if I'm actually doing a little bit of a walkthrough through an animation. I'll try not to do the whole animation. I'll try to edit it down just so that you guys can actually go and see it in VR on your own, and I'm not spoiling the entire film. But I just want to introduce you to some of this, and I want to put a spotlight on some of the craziest and most talented, I say talented, I hate that word, but the most skilled, there we go, the most skilled creators within the VR space that you guys will ever see. I think that my excitement, I try to calm it down. I try to bring it down. Like, okay, let's just chill out a little bit, all right? I know it's cool, I know it's fun, but let's chill a little bit. I don't want to chill out anymore about this. VR gets me so hype. Artists making crazy stuff in VR gets me so hype, and I just want to put them on. The reason I even want to grow, like, this channel for me is just for fun. I just want to make a fun channel. And that doesn't mean I don't want no money. You know what I'm saying? If it happens, it happens. But I'm just saying, right now, this channel for me is an escape from my regular mundane nonsense. I just want a place where I can just freely make stuff and content that I'm just hype about. Stuff I can just get so into and excited about and just talk about on main. That's what I'm making this channel for, and I don't want to do this alone. I want to put people on, and so I want to grow this channel specifically so I can grow the engagement and grow the attention to these wonderful people, because this community of virtual animators is extremely small. It's extremely small, and yet these guys are dedicating months and months to years creating a beautiful content and amazing experiences and stories and things that have just stuck with me since the first time I saw it. And I just want to share that experience with you guys on the outside until we can figure out a way to get on the inside and watch it all together in VR, which would be amazing. And I ain't talking about those 360 experiences on YouTube. Those, nah, forget that nonsense. This is animation. This is hand-drawn stuff, you know, coming straight from the heart. It's, oh man. Outside of the virtual animations, I really do also want to go through some of those storytelling type experiences as well. I think some of those would be really fun to check out. Most of them I haven't actually seen. I've only checked one of them. I can't remember what the hell it was called. But there's a couple that I want to purchase and check out. So I think that'd be really fun to just walk through and check out together. I'd love to show you guys some of the more cute platformer type games like Moss, and I got Moss 2, or even take you a little bit through, what's that game called? Oh, Red Matter. I played the first one. I want to get the second one. But yeah, like just take you through some of these experiences, understandings, that kind of stuff. And then also, of course, you know, we all degenerates here. I'm jumping into some VR chat to crack some jokes and make some stupid comments with people and just do some stupid stuff with friends. And I think that'd be really fun. Or even if I'm just in there to chit chat with the camera and just get something out there for you guys, or talk about the news or whatever it is. But I'm really hyped. I'm super excited to make this channel and talk and you know, finally join the VR community on YouTube here. You know, I want to be making cool content like some of the creators that I really love, you know, Cast and Sherry, The Thrill Seeker, BMF, Steve Knows, Fia. Yo, I'm getting out of here. I hope you guys will come through and watch some of my stuff. I apologize for making a long ass video with a bunch of B-roll in the background, just blab about this stuff. But this is how excited I get about this new world, this new experience, this thing. I have a lot of editing to do to get this down to a reasonable size. So I'm going to get to work on that. And I'm going to be trying to put out a video a week at least. And eventually, if, you know, things go well with the channel, I might bump it up to more, just to, you know, get on there, tell you more stuff, possibly jump into news, even though we've got some already crazy like the Mystical, who's doing news really well, and all the technical details and the leaks and stuff. That sadly is Bradley. I really want to join you guys and make fun content and just be a part of this little community. And hopefully I'll catch some of you guys in VR chat. For some of you want to be degenerates like me. But yeah, anyways, y'all, from me to you, I love y'all. And get out of here. And if you don't have a headset, invest. Totally worth the money, especially if you're working in art and you just want to like take a step further and quicken your workflow. I'm gonna do a whole video on different types of tools that you can use as an artist in VR that you might not know about, but you probably do, but you might not know about. And so you guys can check that one out soon. And outside of that, my kids, my fams, whatever, I'm out this bitch. Peace.